Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my setting powders, highlights and blushes video collection slash declutter. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So the way I do this is powders that I use all the time, powders that I want to try out, and powders that I didn't like, and the powders that I would repurchase. So I think we should start with normal face powders. So the first thing is this Maybelline 24-hour Super Stay waterproof powder, which is kind of like a foundation powder. It looks around like this, and as you can tell, it's nothing amazing or anything, so I think I'm going to be passing it on because I just prefer loose powders. Next powder that I know I'm going to be keeping is this one, which is the NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder. It looks like this, and you open it and you got just a loose powder in there, so I'm going to be keeping that. Now the next powder that I know, next two powders that I know, three powders actually. Now the next three powders that I know I'm going to be keeping are these three. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder in Transparent. I love this, it's really good. It really does make sure that my foundation stays on the entire day. This one, which is the Collection Pressed Powder in, what was it, Ivory. It's more or less not ivory, but whatever. This one isn't the best. I don't think I'll be repurchasing it, but I do want to use it up considering that it's almost gone. And the last one is the Essence All About Matte. It doesn't really have a shade, it's just the white one, and I want to keep this because, as you can see, I've barely been using it and it is a good white powder, so I'm going to be keeping those. Now this powder, which is the Maybelline matte, the matte new matte maker or something like that, in the shade nude beige, I think is just a bit I think it is just a bit dark for me. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not brilliant, so I think I am going to be passing this along to a friend or family member. Now this powder is the Makeup Gallery Smoothly Does It Pressed Powder. It's another, like a foundation powder, and it's from Poundland. It looks like this. It is a pretty good powder, it's just I don't reach for it, so I think I'm going to be passing that one along as well. Now this little palette is from Makeup Revolution. It is the Iconic Lights and Contour Pro palette. It's got a highlight shade, like more of a skin tone setting shade, banana shade, another highlight shade, and then bronzing contour shades. The only really shades that I use are these two. I love this highlight shade, I'm obsessed with it, and this one for bronzing up. Everything else is just a bit too dark for me, and this banana shade does not work for me. I'm not one of those people who can pull off banana shade. But overall, I do want to keep this just to use up the powders that I do like and do use, and then I'm going to be getting rid of it. Now this is my Freedom Pro Artist Magnetic Palette, and when you open it, it's got these three face powders. This is like a normal face powder, contour powder and highlight. I am going to be passing along this highlight shade. I don't really like it. It's one of those more subtle highlight shades, so I don't need it, and so I'm going to be passing that along. But these two, I love this contour shade, it's perfect for my skin tone, and I'm not really played around with this shade, so I'm going to be keeping it. Right, so that means that we're moving along to contour and bronzing up shades. So the first thing that I know I'm not going to be keeping is this Emite Makeup Artist Colour Powder Blush, which is also apparently contour. This is just way too dark for my skin tone. I mean, I can't really make this work. I never reach for this, so I'm going to be passing this along. This is really old. This was one of my first bronzing up shades, and it's the, I'm pretty sure this is by either Maybelline or Rimmel. I'm not sure, it's that old, but I never use it. I never reach for it. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. I don't think this is a good thing, so I think I'm going to be throwing this away. But yeah, the powder that I know I'm going to be keeping because it's in my current project pan video is this Maybelline Sculpt powder thing, and I've been using it. This is all for highlight. I don't like it, it's too glitter chunky, but this one I have been liking in moderation, so I'm going to be keeping that. And then this is Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and I do like it, I do use it. It's just I have to make sure that I use it with, again, a light hand, so I'm going to be keeping that because it costs pretty penny. And that is all for bronzers and contours. And now we're going to be moving on to blushes, and first thing that I can tell you I'm keeping is this I Heart Makeup Blush and Hats blush. It's got like two goldeny bronzy shades and a peachy pink one in the middle, which creates this nice peachy blush. I like it, I do use it, and it's really beautiful, so I do want to keep that. Two blushes that I'm going to be getting rid of are these two cream Dream Touch blushes by Maybelline, excuse me, and I just don't reach for these. I have two of the same colour and I really do not reach for these. I had them for like a couple of years now, more than that to be fair, and I just don't reach for them, so I think I'm going to pass it on to someone who's going to make more use out of it. The shade that I'm going to be keeping is this Essence Silky Touch blush. It's really nice, baby pink, like really light baby pink colour. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, maybe not, but I like it, and it's also in my current Project Pan video, so I do want to keep it. I also want to keep this Miss Sporty Insta Glow blusher in the shade Luminous Beige, and it's just this really nice patterny kind of shade. It's really nude, you can't probably even tell, but I like it and I've not had much play with it, so I'm going to keep that. I also want to keep this, you can't really see it, but it's the Sleek Makeup blush in the shade Flamingo, and it just looks, it looks like this. It's really bright pink, like really bright pink, so you do need a little bit. A little goes a long way, hence why I want to keep it. And also apparently a lot of people compare it to some of the NARS blushes because of the packaging and quality, so I do want to keep this. The blush that I'm going to be passing along is this Rimmel Lasting Finish Soft Colour Blush in the shade Life Pink. And I mean, it's not a bad blush, it's like a duochrome-ish blush, but I just never reach for this, and it's not as pigmented as I would have hoped for it to be. So I'm just going to be passing this along to someone who can actually make a better use out of it. However, the blush that I do want to keep from Rimmel from the same kind of collection is the Santa Rosé. I find this really nice nude blush, and I generally feel like it has different consistency to the other ones, so I do want to keep that. The New Look Pure Colour Blusher in the shade Babydoll Pink. I don't like this, I don't reach for this anymore. It's too, I don't know, it's glittery, but I can't quite explain it. Like, it is a nice soft colour, but I just don't like it, and I think someone could make better use out of it. And then I am also going to be passing along this Makeup Gallery Feeling Blush blusher. I do think this is a really good blusher. It's got good consistency. It's a bit chalky, but I think it is really good. It's just I have so many other blushes in this kind of shade that I don't see myself reaching for this little guy, but I do think that it is a good blush, and it is only £1. Last thing when it comes to blush is this Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush palette in the shade Sugar and Spice, and it looks like this, and it's got two really nude colours, two really pink colours, one dark pink and one orange, and two highlights. This highlight I don't use, but this highlight I used to be obsessed with. And I just feel like this is a perfect blush palette to own because you have different variations of colours, and I like that, and that's why I'm going to be keeping it. Also, they last long and they're just really good. Like, look at that. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it is pretty good, and it's good value for money as well, so I'm going to be keeping that one. Now moving along to highlights, I'm going to be getting rid of this Essence Soo Glow Cream to Powder highlight. I don't like this, I don't use this, I find it too patchy. It's like you take it like this and then you apply it, and apparently it goes into highlight. I don't like it, it's just too patchy, so I'm just going to pass it along to someone who could maybe make it work. This is, by the way, in the shade Bright Up Your Life. The next highlight that I'm probably going to be passing along is, again, the Essence Strobing highlighter in the shade Let It Glow. I had high expectations of this highlighter, but it is just a bit too, it's more like a powder rather than highlighter. You can't, like, can you see it's this one right there? I don't like it, and maybe it'll work out better for someone else. I feel like I'm bashing Essence, but I love some of the Essence products, but This one again didn't work out for me. It's the Essence Light Up Your Face Luminizer palette, and it's the 10 Ready Set Glow. And to what I understand, this is supposed to be contour, highlight and blush, or something in that sense. The contour is okay, it doesn't really show up on my skin tone. The highlight is a bit too glittery for my liking, and the blush, or whatever the hell is it's supposed to be, is just okay. I mean, I don't reach for this palette, I have better things that I reach for, so I'm once again going to be passing this along and see if some of my friends or family will find it a bit more useful. I am also going to be passing along this Emite Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter in the shade Iridescent Gold. This little guy had such a hype on YouTube for being like amazing highlight, and that apparently you have to scrape up the top layer and it'll become pigmented. I did that and I still don't find it as pigmented as some of my other highlights. I mean, it is nice and you can see that it does work, but once I work with it with a brush, it tends to not do as great job, so I'm going to be passing it along. I mean, it's not a waste of money, it wasn't that expensive, I think it was only £3, but it's still something like, if it gets so much hype on YouTube, I expect a better performance from it, and it didn't deliver. The highlight that I'm going to be keeping is this Liquid True Match highlight, which could be used as primer, mixing with your foundation and a highlight, and it's just this really nice, so I'll put it here. I don't know, it's just this really nice shimmery but not glittery kind of glow, and I just feel like that looks really nice, so I'm going to be keeping that and using it more often. Alright, moving along to these. I'm going to start with the Makeup Obsession. This is my mini Makeup Obsession. I haven't fully filled it in, but it's got contour powder, it's got a cream strobing thing, and it's got 2 highlights. I am going to be passing along this particular highlight. It's the highlight in the shade Pearl. I think that this one by Makeup Obsession and this one by Makeup Revolution, which is in the shade Golden Light, are very, very similar. They're basically the same thing. The only difference between them two is that I find this one has more glitter particles in it, whereas this one doesn't. I'm going to show you a swatch. This one is the Pearl, and this one is Golden Light. I just, like, you can't see it on the camera, but this one's got more sheen to it than Pearl, and so that's why I'm going to be keeping the Makeup Revolution one, but I'm going to be passing along the Makeup Obsession one. Again, this one does have more of a glitter in it as well, but this one's like a different consistency altogether. It's like this really nice purpley lilac shade, and I just feel like that suits me a lot better than the golden ones anyway. So I'm going to be keeping that, as well as the contour powder / bronzing up. It's okay, and I haven't given this guy too much of a try yet, so I'm going to be keeping that as well. Now, when it comes to this, I have Makeup Goddess of Love blush. I have like a love and hate relationship with it. It comes off really nice, but it doesn't on the brush. Like, it doesn't apply that great with a brush. So I do think that it is perhaps time for me to pass this along to someone who could use it a bit better, and yeah. But it is really good blush. It is really good highlight, but I just don't think, I don't reach for it that often. So, and this is the Poundland highlight in the shade Pearl Shimmer, and I was quite impressed with this in my trying Poundland makeup. But again, it is really more of a powder rather than a highlight kind of consistency. So I'm going to be passing this along because I do like subtle sheen highlights, but not to the extent of this one. So I'm going to be passing it along. Oh my god. This palette I absolutely adore. This is the best consistency of highlights that I have ever tried. As you can see, I'm proper digging into this one. Of course, some of the shades do not work for me, but these 3 mainly I can make work. And this is the Ultra Pro Glow palette. By the way, all the information about all of these products will be listed down in the description box if you want to see them or try them out for yourselves or anything like that, including the shades that I'm talking about. But anyway, I just find this to be a really nice highlight with good glow. I mean, look at that. It's this one here. But it doesn't have shimmer in it, at least not for me. I don't know, obviously oh my god, look at that. I mean, you can't tell me that you don't like that. That's just beautiful. So you know for sure that I'm keeping this. And now the very last product that I am going to be keeping is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. It looks like this. Obviously that's the back of it, and then when you open it, this little guy is in there, and it's got these shades right there. We got Kitty Cat, Forever Young, Daydream, Forever Lit, Glow Getter, and 143. I am really undecided on this glow kit. It was pretty penny. It was like, what, £40 or £39, something like that. Everybody was raving about it, and everybody generally raves about glow kits by Anastasia Beverly Hills, so I thought that this would be an amazing one to try things out with, because these 4 shades are up my alley. I was very disappointed. They're too glittery for my liking. They do emphasize my texture on my skin, my spots, my pores. I do like Forever Young, and I do like Forever Lit and Kitty Cat, but Glow Getter, 143, Daydream, they're all super chunky glittery. So the only reason why I'm keeping this is because this is the 3rd high-end product that I have ever bought and spent so much money on, so I want to keep it and try and make myself love it. But I wouldn't recommend it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's some of those purchases that I do regret purchasing. I wish I would have tried out some of the original Anastasia glow kits, the ones like Sun Dipped or something like that, because people say that that formula is a lot different to this one. It's less glittery and all that stuff. However, I didn't. I went for this one because it was hyped out on YouTube, because it was a new thing. It was a collaboration with Nicole Guerrero, which, by the way, I love, but I don't recommend this glow kit, at least not if you have a lot of texture on your skin, or if you just generally do not like glittery highlights. Oh, if you want to see the swatches, by the way, which it won't pick up the glitter, but you know, like, they are beautiful when it comes to the pigment. They're pigmented, they're metallic, they're super reflective, they are beautiful. It's just, unfortunately, they're too glittery, you know. But other than that, they are beautiful. But I don't recommend it if you don't like glittery highlights, or if you have a lot of texture on your skin and you know that glitter and things like that will emphasize your texture. But yeah, guys, that's all for this video. So these bits over there are what I am getting rid of, and these bits over here are what I am keeping. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. So this is my face powders, bronzers, contours and blushes and highlights collection. And next thing that I'm going to be doing is either my eyeshadows or eyeliners or things like that. So stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!